Now we'll finish animating the ears. As we discussed in the last lesson, we're going to be copying and pasting our information from this finished left ear over to the right ear. And doing so, it's going to speed up our workflow. And we do want to look for areas we can speed up our workflow as we are working. So let's go ahead and show our curves so we can get to the keys that we had set for our ears by selecting the head control. And we'll also go back to our graph editor and view our keys. And what I like to do is copy and paste from the individual channels. Okay, so we'll first work on our root, copying and pasting that over, and continuing that process. I like to do that for the custom attributes because that makes sure that everything copies and pastes correctly. So knowing that, we'll go to our left root curl attribute. With that selected, we have a number of ways to getting to copy. We can either right click in our graph editor workspace, go to edit, and go to copy, and we want to get to the options so we can check those out. Or we could go right up here to our menu bar in the graph editor, go to edit, copy, options. So whichever you'd prefer, we'll go into the option box. Let's go ahead and reset our settings. What I'd like to use is all, having all selected, because what that allows us to do is capture all of our keys that we animated, because we want to take all of our keys with us. Okay, so we can paste them. So let's go ahead and make sure all is selected, and we'll hit copy keys. So with that, well, once we've made sure that the root curl is selected, we have now copied all of the keys for it. And we can bring it over to our right root curl. So with that now selected, we can right click in our graph editor workspace, go to edit, and paste options. Here again, let's go ahead and reset our settings. What I like to do here is go to clipboard, okay, also to make sure that we capture all of our information. And also I'd like to go to replace, changing insert to replace, so it replaced our current values that we had in there with our new values, taking them directly from our left ear. And then lastly, we also want to make sure that entire curve is checked on, so we make sure we get everything. Once we've made sure of that, we can now hit paste, and notice now we have the same values in that we had from our left onto our right. So now let's go ahead and work on doing the mid of the ear. Okay, since we could play back and see our difference. Okay, we could also see that the ear is now rotated back from where it once was in its upright position. Okay, but let's go ahead and copy the mid, because that's when we're really going to see the identical movement. So again, we'll find our attribute. That's going to be the mid curl. With that selected, again, we can right click, go to edit, and copy, which should still have the same values that we use for our options. And then we'll go to our right mid curl, right click, go to edit, and paste. And we could even see a difference now in our viewport. And if we minimize our graph editor and hit play, notice the ears are going to be moving identical. Great, so here we can see the benefits of utilizing our copy and paste. But let's go ahead and finish the ear off. We'll go back to our graph editor, and we just need to copy and paste the values for our ear turn, but for the left side. So we'll go to our root ear turn, and we'll copy these values in. Go to our right ear turn, make sure it's the root, and edit, paste. Excellent. So now they have the identical values. Now they are moving at the same time. We're getting twinning, and twinning really takes away from the animation, from the believability aspect of it. So we need to offset our animation slightly so we can remove that. Okay, so what we'll do is, let's say we take our information from our right ear, we'll go to the curl, and we'll go to the mid, the curl for the root and the curl for the mid. We don't need to get our turn since it's just one pose. And we'll hit F, and let's say we have the movement of the right ear happen a little bit before the left ear. So let's say we hold shift, middle mouse button, click and drag so that we move one frame over to the left. Let's see what that gives us. When we minimize, hide our curves, and hit play, notice we get the ears slightly offset enough where the twinning is gone and we're getting some nice realistic looking motion in our ears. But of course, let's go ahead and check out a play blast of that to see the difference. Here it is. Great. So here we see again the benefits of utilizing copying and pasting. Look how much faster we got that right ear done rather than having to manually key it as we did with the left. And by sliding it just one frame off, it looks almost like a totally different ear. Okay, so that's the benefits again of using copying and pasting. And because of our curve cycling, we were able to shift over our keys just one frame and still have them maintain the cycle. Okay, so that's only going to happen if we do shift our keys. It's only going to happen if we have cycle turned on. Great, so now that this is done, the ears are finished, which brings us to the pretty much the last section we have to animate in our animation, and that's going to be the tail. So we'll begin working on that in the next lesson.